Hey, welcome. This is True Divine 44, and you're catching me on YouTube with that tag, and you're getting me on Bitchute with that, and also Facebook is True Divine 44. I'm putting out the daily energy readings to help support, guide, and inspire those who want to be, need to be supported, guided, and inspired. Take what resonates as it is general, and leave what does not. This is where I combine the energy work that I do and the tarot work that I do to bring a narrative to you to help you guide your day, help you reach your highest potentials, recognizing the energies within you, around you, and within others. This is for the 16th of February 2021. I'm just doing it quickly before I dash out. So let's go. We have the Sun card as the first card. I mean, we couldn't ask for more right now. You know, the Sun card, the most benevolent card, and there is true benevolence in the air. There's true benevolence within so many people, and for everything that we're seeing playing out as the script plays out and how ridiculous it gets, it actually, hey Theodore, works in our favor as to there is so much opportunity.
Definitely tell a light.
Yes. Yeah, so there's so much more opportunity to have this enlightenment, to have this release of the true powers, the true sources, the true gifts of each individual, and indeed the collective. We've got the energy of the freedom, joy, and bliss of the sun, to be able to make hay while the sun shines, to be able to just enjoy ourselves. And I think that is a key component right now.
They say haywires.
Make hay while the sun shines, baby. So making the most of it is very important, and also to remember that part of hooking out of their game, part of hooking out of their script and their low frequency existence, their low frequency magic that they want to tie people into and have tied people into for the longest time is the having fun, is being connected to loved ones, is being connected to self, is being connected to the nature around you, and finding the fun, finding the glee, finding the joy in the small things, because that is what is being stolen away from so many right now. So the more that you take that back, the more that you not only raise your own frequency, but you are doing powerful magic in Theo, people can't hear when you're doing that, baby. Thank you. Come and sit on mommy's knee. Come on, come and show people that beautiful hair. That sunshine hair. So this is where you get this is where you get the opportunity to take that back and do that and enjoy those moments, be in those moments, be in connection with little bundles like this, and finding the joy in what they do, and how they make their fun out of nothing. There's also big decisions with this enlightenment. There's huge decisions to be made, in that there is almost there's two paths for a lot of people today, and in general as the collective there are very much so two paths to be taken, two paths to go down, or have the opportunity to go down. There's this yet another huge split, another huge separation in the frequencies and the paths that different people choose to go down, and that's for individual lives and then into the collective. And so this is where we've got the Two of Swords to clarify the Sun card. And so this is speaking of, you can see she's in white, which is she's in pure thought. She's got her legs square and her feet firmly on the ground. So she's contemplating thought, ways of reacting, ways of being, roads to go down, opportunities, but she's doing it in a grounded way. She's got those feet grounded firmly on the ground. She has everything involved in this. She's got the earth, obviously that inner fire. She's got the waters, the moon above her with that intuitive space within her, and the swords being the air. And so this is where the fire is pretty still here. The element of fire within is pretty still here, because there's a need to get into the space of calm, of serenity, to be able to contemplate these two paths, these two thoughts, these two ways of being, these two decisions that are to be made either way. And you can see she's got her arms crossed across her heart space. So there's a lot to do with following your heart and using the heart brain material rather than just the brain. It's the incorporation of the all to make this decision. All too often we make decisions on the hop in a reactive way, and it gets us into trouble or it gets others into trouble around us. And so this is where there's wisdom in taking time out for this Two of Swords, but it's in reverse. And so to take space and time out today to be able to put this energy in the upright so that you can do all of the things that I've just mentioned. If you look even at the green sky, the green representing the heart space, the heart chakra, the serenity, the green of the lilies before the white pops out. And so this is where there's enlightenment, there is true opportunity. But for those that have the energy of this in reverse, there's a distraction of you making these thoughts too big for you to want to contemplate. You're making them too complicated, maybe involving too many characters in your decision making as to how they would react depending on which way you decide to go. And so this is where you need to have this space, you need to have this calm so that your heart brain material, and we do have brain cells, brain matter in the heart, can help you decide. It's the vibration and frequency of the heart chakra that's to be taken note of today in order to get the full enlightenment as to which path to go down, which road to follow. It's hugely connected to the heart chakra and the heart space, and making those decisions from those spaces of serenity, and making them for you, and in order for the right things to then fall down around you, in place around you, or fall away from you, depending on whether they match the frequency of your decision, of your path. But with it being in reverse, there's too much complication in this. There's too much brain in this. You know, there's too much thought. Try and empty your mind, empty that space while you contemplate through the heart chakra space into which frequency matches you more, which path matches you more, eliminating for now the bumps, the fluff, the people, the things around those decisions, and just looking plainly at the two decisions that are to be made, or the one decision to go in one direction that is to be made. Bun, stop chewing. Bunny's chewing. So what else to say about this? This decision and this card that is in reverse will be hugely aided to be put back in the upright, will be hugely aided by having some kind of happiness today, by smiling, by, you know, force yourself to laugh. You know, it might feel really strange at first to force yourself to laugh, particularly if you're not in a space of laughter. But after a while, your body likes laughter. Healing things happen to your body and to your frequency when you incorporate laughter. And so after a while, you start to laugh genuinely. And this is where you will maybe start to laugh at the fact that you've made yourself laugh. And this is where you lift that frequency just enough to be able to get out of the space of overcomplicated, too much mind, too much brain, and to be able to get into this space of enlightenment through the heart chakra space. But there's huge gifts and opportunities, and go towards the path where your heart flutters a bit, where your heart gets the most excited. Release yourself from those limitations. The sky's the limit, you know, in the upright of this card. In the reverse of this card, you know, there's a ground in the sky where there's a limitation. There's a boxing off of the opportunity. And with the sun card combined with this, there needn't be. there needn't be any fear of the decision that makes your heart flutter, that makes you be drawn towards it like a magnet from that heart space chakra. We've got the next card being the Six of Pentacles. A lot of you can expect some kind of generosity today out of the blue. And it's coming from this space of this frequency that a lot of you that managed to unreverse, to put this card of the Two of Swords back in the upright. A lot of you putting out that frequency alone attracts in this frequency of giving, of generosity, of joy, of gifting. And so this is where a lot of you could be receiving gifts, opportunities, money, surprise money, you know, where you think you need to pay a bill and it's already paid magically somehow, whatever it might be for you, but there's something today for you to claim. And it's coming from the space of, for those that manage to feel the sunshine within them, to see the benevolence of the sun energy, and to see the space in the heart chakra, and that like a magnet being put out there is magnetizing something back for you, which again will bolster the decision that you make today regarding a certain path or a certain way of being or thinking or doing. And so this will help give you confirmation of how quickly transfer of energy and frequency can happen, especially when it's in the right space, especially when it's from the heart chakra. And so also you might be the one that is being benevolent, and this might be again another confirmation for you making the right decision on your path, into the fact that you have the capacity to release some funds to give a gift, or you see something that you just makes you think of somebody and think, wow, I need to get that for that somebody. Again, this is all attracting in more benevolence, more generosity, and bolstering that decision that you make ultimately from the heart space. And so this is a beautiful thing, to either gift and accept the gift in giving, or to be gifted and accept the gift in the giving. And so this is a nice energy, and it's a nice quick confirmation for those that work from this space today. To clarify the Six of Pentacles, we've got the Judgment card. And so the Judgment card, speaking of paths, speaking of being magnetized towards something, knowing that you're being drawn towards something. And again, this has been rolling out for all of us, and for many of us in a big way. This Judgment card, this major arcana that calls us from the deep, calls us maybe from some of the paths that we've strayed from, the path that we know that we're meant to be on, and this trumpet call, this hum. A lot of you have been feeling this hum, this increase in frequency from nature itself, seeing different insects, seeing different things, birds, insects that you haven't seen before. And this is where I say that the timelines, things are popping in from the past and from the future. A lot of that is to do with the playing around of frequencies, of energy, of portals, of electromagnetic portals, from these hidden shadowy figures, these so-called powers that be. Yes, but a lot of it also is meant to come about in that it's not all bad, the things that are coming forward. Nature will use that also as a rebalancing tool for a lot of what we've lost in nature, a lot of the animals that we've lost that we still should have to keep the right balance. I feel that that's coming in greatly, especially today for some reason. So we've got the, oh my goodness, so Judgment card and the Six of Pentacles is 26 also, which is the building blocks. And yeah, there is a lot of, regarding the church on the powers that be, the so-called powers that be on the collective stage, there's information that needs to be looked at again regarding the Templars and regarding the agreement that they have with the Catholic Church. That's big. And the generosity that has been shown between the two sects. the Masons also. I mentioned in quite a few readings a while ago, and I've mentioned, I think, on Wayne's show before, that the bones will be shook up from the ground, and the truth can be seen from the bones. There's a lot of cultures, in particular Persia, they are very careful to either keep teeth of children and stuff hidden, or hair, or they'll bury it, they'll dispose of it in a way that nobody knows where it is. And there's a reason for this, because a lot of technology can gain a lot from the bones and the teeth. And I said a long time ago that the truth will be seen by the bones. Now, I happen to know that the bones that the Templars guarded and guard are the kinds of bones that would blow the Catholic Church apart, that would show the lie, that would show the deceit, especially with the technology that we have today. So there's certain payoffs happening today with that also. That's really up in the air as to which way they're going to go with that, and how they're going to try and keep a hold of the truth, and whether they even need to now, because organized religion, again, I said a while ago, has sort of done its bit for the globalists. And so it's on a tight rope as to showing generosity, doing as it's told, as to whether it survives as is, which is why you see them coming out with rules that before they would have said you would go to hell for. Now they're saying, no, it's okay, I've spoken to God and God said it's acceptable now. So where in the past we've murdered and slain people for being gay, now it's okay. You know, I've spoken to God and he's changed his mind. And so this is where we see the ridiculousness of it. But it's been a good controlling mechanism. It's been the virus and a huge part of the hijack to take us away from our own God and Goddess source power, and put in labels and actually creating our energy to allow energies to actually fill the space that they manifested in us, where we give the deities this space. And so there's beings that once we've created this space, and it's been created en masse with huge amounts of energy and dedication and praise and worship, of course that's going to get filled with something that is pretty tangible, but not for the good, not for the graciousness of the collective, but as a controlling mechanism, and as a feed-in tool. And so I don't know where that came from with that, but there's something about the judgment card with that, in that I keep going back to that vision that I had, and the bones being shook up from the ground. This was a lot to do with even the Epstein case, and where I saw the fact that they've been going above and beyond to destroy bones, to destroy that kind of evidence. And so this is where we see that huge amounts of payoffs. And maybe that information is going to come out today regarding huge payoffs in government bodies, in politicians, to do the bidding, showing their generosity. Maybe that's going to be seen today with that sun card also. That would be big. So look out for that, and leave a comment as to if you see anything like that. That would be huge. We've got the Ace of Wands again, and this is, we are reaching to a time of new beginnings. We are reaching to a new garden, and it's what we sow in that garden, it's what we plant in that garden, what we are driven to do, and the actions that we take right now with this flame that we have is paramount as to the kind of garden that we build. It's building our own Garden of Eden, never mind this one that is so terrifying when you look at the story in reality and read it out properly. Wayne did a brilliant show on that. It's to build and use this passion, this fire to build the garden to sustain you, your family, and that'll spread out through the collective. There's something about this new flame that's being passed, that's being broken in, that's being brought in to many people's consciousness and many people's energies. Which is awesome, because then we've got the Page of Wands that has kept coming up also. And this is the go with the flow energy, having a direct and focused mindset on a goal, on something that you want to get to, that you want to achieve, but being flexible, having the plasticity in order to get to the opportunity, yes, and the goal that you've set, yes, but not to rule out other things that may come along the path. This is a very creative, very flamboyant, very bubbly and passionate energy. And this is where, with these two combined, I mean, this is one of the most driven energies you could get in knowing that you want to achieve something, and you will get there. But important to keep this plasticity, this flexibility, like a flame, being able to be blown around and not go out, but actually add to the flame, add kindling to the fire regarding each experience that you have along the way in this path that you're taking, whatever path it might be. But there is a definite path today to decide upon as individuals, and there is, with that decision, there's a huge magnetized drawing in the right direction of where you need to be, who you need to meet, where you need to go, and this bolstering of that decision with this generosity, with this out of the blue reciprocity from someone, or just seemingly from the universal energies that you draw in through that Sun card and that Two of Swords reverse in that background into the heart chakra. We do see people today also, because this Two of Swords is in reverse, almost being burnt by the sun, like too much information sends them into overdrive. And so be aware of that for those that are of a frequency today that can accept what needs to be done and do it, but they're being blurred and not seeing the picture. They will see the picture, but you know, it might be that it's somebody in your individual life that is not wanting you to decide clearly on the path that needs to be taken for you, for your ultimate good. And so this is where, you know, you've got to know people's intentions. You've got to be able to see through some of the words that people say, because, you know, you might be thinking that you're making a selfish decision. But if this decision feels right in your heart space, then it's not selfish, it's part of your path. And paths change. Be flexible. Paths do change. We react to the universal energies around us, the energies within us, the weather, the nature around us, everything. And with this Page energy, with this flexibility, people who are in a fixed state in that reverse Two of Swords energy aren't going to like the flexibility and the joy and bliss of the Page of Wands energy, with this Ace of Wands added to it, and the Sun card and the Judgment card. You know, you're on a pretty focused path. And so the naysayers around you today, it is what it is. They are where they are. For you, it's a very different story. If this reading resonates with you, it's a very different story. And although the naysayers might have a little bit of a go, knowing that enlightenment, knowing that Sun, and feeling that confirmation of the right decision being made will make you feel super confident about the decision that you're making. We've got the Three Number 3, the Empress card on the bottom of the deck, major arcana, beautiful Empress energy, divine goddess connected to the consciousness of self and universal energies. You can see the strange sort of acorn like tree in the background there, and that's looking at the pineal gland, the acorn there that we have within us. The enlightenment tool, the connection to the other realms, the doorway to other worlds that we can go through. And this goddess energy is absolutely connected to that. Very much working from the heart space, but having the wisdom to know that through your thoughts, number 1, your words, number 2, and your deeds, number 3, makes up her. That makes up your reality. It makes up the reality that you are manifesting and existing in. And so be super intentful and powerful with your words today, and recognize the goddess within, whether you are male or female. Recognize the goddess energy within, the divine feminine energy, and draw upon that in a great deal. You can see she's on like on top, a throne is on top of like corn. So it's, especially with this sun card, the opportunity for your intent to be so strong and determined and focused, and speaking out constantly today what you want to see rather than what you don't want to see, will be super powerful as to how you manifest realities and as to what you draw in with this 6 of Pentacles and this Judgment card. Yeah, it's huge. What else about the Empress card? She's connected very much to the above and the below. She has stars on her crown, and pomegranates on her dress, and then you see this one red slipper that is very firmly on the ground, and so, but it's hidden, and the other foot is completely hidden. And so this is the space that a lot of people get confused in, that this is the space that is most real, because this is actually the space that is unseen by many in the thoughts and the words and the deeds, but actually it's so real because this is actually where we create what we call reality, from this space of this divine feminine energy. Look around today, especially with this sun card, and recognize the divine feminine goddess energy, the essence within everything that you see, the land that you walk upon, the flowers that you see and smell and touch, and the stages of birth of a single flower. Just really envelop yourself in that and soak yourself in that, and maybe look at something like a flower, like a rabbit, like anything that reflects anything of nature, and look at every detail, and find yourself sort of diving into the detail of whatever it is that you're looking at, and you'll see that, wow, just like when you look at the sky at night and you focus on it, and the more that you look at it, the more and more layers and blankets of stars that you see. There is so much to see. Each time you focus in more, there's even more to see. This is the kind of divine feminine energy to be enveloped in today, and get super excited about it and super driven and powerful about it, because with that divine feminine energy, and then this spark of fire, even with the sun being of fire, this is really powerful for what you want to grow, what you want to see, what you want to harvest in your own life. It really is a super powerful energy to have. We've got the 2 of Pentacles on the bottom of the other deck, and so this is where this 2 of Swords in reverse comes into play. There needs to be a time to stop juggling. A lot of you are still juggling other people's wants for their lives, with against an absolute, at the opposite of the wants for your life. and this juggling is getting exhausting. And this sun energy, that's where it may be a little bit uncomfortable for some, because this sun energy is making you feel like you have to focus in now and you have to make a decision, or you're feeling very, very caged because you feel the benevolence of this sun. You feel the heat of it on your back, especially with this yellow sky. But because this is in reverse, the heat is on your feet almost, because the sky becomes yellow under your feet rather than that being your ground. So you get flipped upside down a little bit. And that's because you're still juggling other people's wants and needs too much. And you're not focusing on that. And so the reality that you're creating is a bit muddled up, a bit diluted. And that's no good for anybody. That's certainly no good when you have this kind of reading with the Sun card, the Judgment card, the Fire of the Wands, and the Empress card on the bottom of the deck. There's power in making the decisions, and stop juggling other people's wants and needs and beliefs too much, because it's diluting your essence, it's diluting your focus, it's diluting the power that you have today to draw in the essence that you need and push out the reality that you want to create. So don't dilute yourself. You know, stop the juggling for a while, put that Two of Swords in the upright rather than in reverse, and again, speak to your heart. Try and strip yourself bare of everything else, of everyone else for a moment, and see where you are drawn to. If money wasn't a problem, where does your heart want to go? If you weren't in this relationship, what would you want to do? All of those kinds of things that then the questioning can drill down into, right, where do I want to go? What do I want to be? How do I want to get there? And that's where you start to get the more undiluted and more focused self-questioning space, where you then can dive into that heart chakra space and be drawn forward to where you want to be drawn to, genuinely. The magnet within matching up with the magnet on the without, in order to help you along on that path with that Judgment card. Feel the trumpet call. So that is the reading for the 16th of February 2021. I love and appreciate you all so much. Mwah. Please like, share, and if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to this channel. It really does help me out. And it's good to spread the message, and it's good to get the connections going, to be connected to many people and getting to know many different energies, in order to, you know, incorporate that into our own tapestry of inner standing, of expression, of just being. So be all you can be today. Reach for the stars and beyond. Feel that sun on your back. Speak power into your life, powerful words of manifestation, but make sure they are powerful thoughts as well. Don't dilute them, don't reverse them, and be drawn towards your genuine path. The Judgment card, just before I go, it speaks of questioning yourself as to what you need to leave behind and what you need to take forward. And there are some things that need to be left behind for many people. This Judgment card keeps coming up for that reason. And so it's the self-judgment. It's not the judgment of others, it's the self-judgment. And if you're falling into judgment of others, well, then that's a hint of what you maybe need to let go of first. So that is definitely now the reading for the 16th of February 2021. Share this, like this, subscribe to this. I love and appreciate you all for doing so. And please leave a comment. I love to hear how you're getting on, and just to say hi. Mwah. Much love, balance, and wholeness.